The Steam Deck has finally been launched, and so has a game to go along with it. Now, as much as I'd love to play Aperture Desk Job on the device it was meant to be played on, I can't. So this is my review of Aperture Desk Job, and what your experience will be if you play it on a desktop. Now, keep your expectations fairly low. This is only a 30-minute short, it's not a full game in any way. Now, shoot your expectations way back up again, because Valve has cram-packed that 30 minutes with amazing comedic timing, amazing jokes, and fantastic minigames that really work just amazing. I gotta think of another descriptor word. They just work really well to demonstrate some of the unique features of the Steam Deck, like gyro aiming, the touchscreen, and the back paddles. Unfortunately, I can't use any of the cool features because I don't have a Steam Deck. But in areas where the buttons are required, buttons are substituted to regular controller buttons. Thanks, Valve. Aperture Desktop is free, but it does require a controller. Aperture Desktop has no keyboard and mouse support, except for using the mouse as like an alternative to the touchscreen, and using the keyboard to, like, I think there's one part where it gets you to take a screenshot. The game size is just over 4 gigs, which shouldn't be too big of a problem on any one of the 3 Steam Deck SKUs. The game also does have native Windows support, even though the deck is running Linux, which is really nice. I wrote desk is running Linux. Alright, from this point forward, the review will contain spoilers for the story of Aperture Desk Job. It's not a big story, but there is a story nonetheless. The first time you launch the game, you'll see a message saying that it was optimized for the Steam Deck. No way, I never would have guessed. The game begins with you traversing downwards to your desk with an audio message played by the owner of the company. As this happens, you'll start to see each branch, everything from machine learning to product development. The praying mantis is crawling on the wires, which we'll get back to those. We'll see them again. And eventually, product evaluation and testing, where you end up.
Newton, Einstein.
Wait a minute, that's not right. I think I put the wrong tape in. Hold on.
Good luck, world's best science.
Okay, here we go.
You, in the overalls. Get to work, or you're fired.
They don't give out overalls anymore.
Straight away, we can see Valve's great comedic timing at work, and we can see Grady, who is your supervisor.
My name's Grady, you can call me that.
He gives us a rundown of what we're doing, shows us our desk, which is really just a metaphor for the deck, and tells us that it's not very fun to work here.
Just remember, the important thing is to have fun on your own time before you come in.
So we start off by testing toilets. We hold down X to fill up the water tank, Y to do that, B to test the, presumably the bidet, and A to test the flush. At this point, you'd be excused for thinking that the entire game was going to be different products, with different testing sequences to showcase all the features of the deck. And it kinda does that, but not really. After a couple of toilets have been inspected, Grady comes down again and tells us some important information.
Gummit, I knew it. I left the volume down. Hold on.
Zip zap zop, that is how you inspect a toilet. I hope you were paying attention because I'm not saying any of that twice. Look, it's not rocket science. It's not even toilet science. Here's everything you need to know. See that light on the wall? If that light goes on, you're fired.
Okay, good. You heard the important part.
After the tape plays, the next toilet comes around, which appears to be on Fighter. Grady, rightfully, asks you about this.
Wait, hold on. Have they all been smoking? You know what? It's not our job to test if the toilet's on fire, right? Just do your regular thing like normal. Move it down the line, and then it's somebody else's problem.
Well, alright then. As you progress and test the toilet, it begins to start shaking. Grady goes to take a look and gets knocked off his floating mounting thing into the toilet by a stray water stream. He then asks us to
get me out of here, please.
And then the testing process restarts. So we shoot him with the tank filler, squash him with the inflatable ball, and eventually shoot him out into the sky, breaking the ammunition pipe and causing ammo to spill into the toilet. As we continue testing, the toilet begins to shoot the bullets everywhere, which gives Grady an idea.
I think we're in a lot of trouble here. Now, I also think we're going to be rich, because I think you just admitted something.
We start traversing up. We can see the mantis is playing with a light bulb, and 6 months go by. Grady comes back and shows us his invention, the Aperture Science Turret. In this segment, we use the left trigger to activate the turret and the right analog stick to move it around. Obviously, the right trigger is used to shoot it.
You know what, though? I mean, you're definitely going to kill yourself with it pointed at you like that.
Grady turns the turret around, tells us to shoot again, and a lot of things break. Fear not, however, because Grady has something else he's been working on.
Here's what I've actually been working on. Ta-da! Introducing the Mark II.
At this point, Grady asks us to take a photo of him by using the screenshot button, which I'm assuming will have a different keybind when it's actually played on the deck.
Normally I'd walk you through everything, but I think you get it. Let's just open everything at once and see what happens.
Bad idea, seeing as we cause a lot of damage to property and I end up in prison. As we traverse up to the prison, we see that the mantises have started our modern society. Grady talks to us about how bad the damage was and how important the boxes were, and we are told we can leave as long as I state and print and sign my name. At this point, it'll ask you to say your name out loud, but you don't have to. You can just be silent. We're asked to type out our name and then sign. On a Steam Deck, you'd use the touchscreen, but on a desktop, you use the mouse. We then hear that Grady will be our parole officer, and he has something to show us, that being the Mark III. We test out the Mark III on some appliances he's stolen from homewares, and it's at this point that the gyro aiming of the Steam Deck is shown to us. Unfortunately, I don't have a Steam Deck, or a controller that supports gyro aiming, so I just kept using the analog stick. Then we find out that Grady has gotten us an interview to show our product to the CEO.
While you were in jail, I got us a meeting to show our turret to Cave Johnson. That's right, the owner of the company.
We begin traversing up, we see that the mantises now have a society more advanced than Earth's current society, and we arrive on an elevator.
What are you gonna do with your share of the money? I know what I'm gonna do is pay off the money I borrowed to make this turret.
Then someone overrides the elevator controls and we get ambushed by sentient appliances.
Huh, that's one of the appliances I stole from Housewares. Oh jeez, it's got a gun!
We shoot those sentient appliances for a couple of minutes before using the built-in jets on the desk to quickly get to Cave Johnson's office. On a Steam Deck, you would use the back buttons to activate this, but on a normal controller, you use the left and right bumpers. After we get to Cave's office, we find out that Grady did not actually get an appointment with him, and that nobody has seen him in years. Great. We walk into the office, the lights turn on, and he is a big stone head. He talks about how he ended up like this, where they uploaded his conscience to a computer, and he also asks us to put him out of his misery. That's where Grady comes in and helpfully tells him we have a toilet with some guns glued to the side. After finding out we can't shoot him because the stone is under the stone is metal, we attempt to shoot out the power supply, which works for a while, but then the backup power kicks in, which causes him to tell us that
You're both fired.
After that, the floor beneath him gives in and he crashes down to the basement.
Do you know what the punishment for murder is? They told us in parole officer school, you're not gonna like this, it's life. Your whole life in prison. We should leave. Don't touch anything. And bring the desk.
As we go back down, we see that the Mantis civilization has been destroyed, and we discover that we are placed on witness protection. But not because of the murder.
Morning, Charlie. It's me, Gary. Gary, your boss. Keep inspecting those toilets. Good work, good stuff. Good. Hey, it's just me, Grady. Yeah, just like yesterday. Man, this witness protection program is great. I don't know why we didn't turn state's evidence against those loan sharks in the first place.
The conveyor belt comes back on, the toilets roll into the hole in the ground, and we get a scene of Cave Johnson and the toilet singing a song. Then the credits roll. One thing I noticed in the credits is that there are a lot of duplicate first names. Like, there were 9 total people named Eric, with 4 of them being spelled with a K. Overall, Aperture Desk Job is a fantastic short, and definitely worth your time. It's like 28 minutes total. It's, yeah, play it now. Also, just gonna let you know, I'm shutting down the Patreon until I get a bigger audience. There is no point in locking videos down for no one.